Xiao Yan encountered his old friend Liu Qing again in the Central Plains after many years. Unexpectedly, he arrived just as Liu Qing's family was in the midst of a crisis. Taking the opportunity, Xiao Yan stepped in and helped resolve the situation. Continuing from previous episode, after bidding farewell to the Daozun of Wind, Xiao Yan decided to head to Dan City, where the Pill Tower is located, to participate in the pill competition. He needed the 3,000 burning flames to enhance his strength as quickly as possible. However, he only knew that the Pill Tower was situated at the center of the Central Plains, not its precise location. Lin Yan informed him that they were currently in the northern region of the Central Plains, a considerable distance from the Pill Tower. If they relied solely on their own flying abilities, it would take at least 2 to 3 months to reach their destination. Fortunately, not far from their current location was a city called Tianhang City, which had a spatial wormhole leading to the center of the Central Plains. Using it could save them more than half the time. When the two arrived in Tianhang City, Xiao Yan did not head straight for the spatial wormhole. Instead, he spent a fortune at an auction house to buy 3 types of beast flame. Lin Yan was quite surprised that Xiao Yan was collecting these beast flames, but did not ask any questions. After Xiao Yan gathered all the necessary items, Lin Yan led him to the spatial wormhole. Then, Lin Yan took out a small, crude-looking boat from his storage ring. Noticing Xiao Yan's curious look, Lin Yan blushed and explained, "Although it looks crude, it cost me over 2 million gold coins. I risked my life to gather the funds by killing 2 6th-rank magical beasts in the process." Additionally, Lin Yan had found a mid-tier Earth-class footwork technique, the Bat-Duck Fire Avoidance Step, in a cave. This fortuitous encounter helped him reach his current 4-star Du Huang strength over the past few years. Seeing the joy on Lin Yan's face, Xiao Yan smiled but sighed inwardly. His flame mantra had stagnated at low-tier Earth class due to the lack of heavenly flames for advancement. While this level of technique was sufficient for him to operate at the Du Huang level, Xiao Yan had already stepped into the realm of Du Zong. If he ever faced formidable opponents like Fei Tian, an 8-star Du Zong, his only real trump card would be the Destruction Fire Lotus. Moreover, the Dan City we'll be entering next is home to numerous other powerful factions, none of which are weaker than the Wind Lightning Pavilion. To navigate such a place, having some trump cards is essential. Xiao Yan thought to himself, "As I approach Dan City, I must prepare adequately. The flame creation skill I acquired needs to be cultivated soon. Otherwise, the remaining life-transforming flame will only suffice for one more Destruction Fire Lotus, which is far from enough." Once the spatial ship was on course, Xiao Yan handed control to Lin Yan, then flicked his finger, causing a crimson scroll to appear. This was the flame creation skill he had obtained from Demon Flame Valley. As his soul power poured into the scroll, he couldn't help but marvel at the Earth Demon Elder's ingenuity. Previously, the flame creation skill required 3 people to cultivate together and sacrifice their life force to condense the life-transforming flame. However, the Earth Demon Elder had refined it to be powered by 3 types of beast flames instead. By merging these flames within oneself and refining them to perfection, they could be fused into a single life-transforming flame seed. Of course, a single flame seed wouldn't suffice for Xiao Yan to endlessly use the Destruction Fire Lotus. He would need to continually seek out various beast flames to integrate into the seed, allowing it to grow stronger over time. Understanding the difficulty of this cultivation method, even Xiao Yan felt a bit daunted. Although merging 3 beast flames wasn't as perilous as dealing with heavenly flames, any slight mistake could still inflict significant injury. Moreover, even if the flames merged safely, the refining process demanded an exceptionally strong soul power. Any error could result in the flames exploding within his body. Despite the rigorous requirements, the improved flame creation skill no longer harmed the body. With his mind made up, Xiao Yan began to guide the 3 beast flames into cultivation. In the blink of an eye, after nearly 29 days of flight, the spatial ship was nearing the exit of the spatial wormhole. Lin Yan glanced at Xiao Yan in the cabin and couldn't help but chuckle wryly. This kid? There's only 1 day left until we exit the wormhole, and he's still not ready? Exiting the spatial wormhole would involve intense spatial turbulence that would surely disrupt him. As Lin Yan approached Xiao Yan to prepare him mentally, a streak of pale flame shot out from Xiao Yan's body like lightning. Lin Yan's expression changed instantly, unable to dodge at such close range. However, just as the flame was about to hit Lin Yan, a cold shout suddenly echoed. The white flame abruptly halted, its scorching heat still causing a burning sensation on Lin Yan's back. He quickly jumped back, turning to see Xiao Yan, who had awoken without his notice, smiling wryly. Lin Yan said, "You finally woke up, you rascal." Xiao Yan nodded at Lin Yan with a smile, then flicked his fingers, causing a pale, bone-like flame to emerge. This was the newly formed life-transforming flame seed, crucial for Xiao Yan's future use of the destruction fire lotus. After reabsorbing the flame seed, Xiao Yan stood up slowly, his gaze fixed on the wormhole exit that was now within reach. He smiled faintly. Dan City and the 3,000 burning flames. Here I come. After Xiao Yan and Lin Yan passed through the spatial wormhole, they arrived in the central region of the Central Plains. However, they still had a considerable distance to cover before reaching Dan City. Fortunately, not far from them was a city called Tianhang City, which had a spatial wormhole leading directly to Dan City. Coincidentally, the family of Liu Qing, a friend of Xiao Yan's, resided in this city. Hearing this familiar name, a smile appeared on Xiao Yan's face. He had a good impression of this straightforward guy. Under Lin Yan's guidance, the two of them flew toward Tianhang City. Tianhang City was no smaller than Tianbei City, and because it had a spatial wormhole leading straight to Dan City, it was even more bustling. The city was dominated by two major families, the Liu family and the Qing family. These two families were the most powerful forces in Tianhang City. Of course, neither family had the strength to construct such a long-distance spatial wormhole. Therefore, the wormhole didn't belong to either of them but was controlled by the overlord of the surrounding thousands of miles, flame-burning valley. In fact, the Liu and Qing families could be considered subsidiary forces of Flame-Burning Valley, since the management rights of the wormhole were decided by Flame-Burning Valley and had alternated between these two families over the years. Xiao Yan had long heard of this powerful faction because the Skyfire 3 mysterious changes, which had accompanied him for years, belonged to them. After years of cultivation, he understood how profound this technique was, especially for someone like him who possessed multiple heavenly flames. Xiao Yan thought to himself, if there's a chance, I might try to obtain the remaining 2 changes of the Skyfire 3 mysterious changes. However, unless absolutely necessary, I should avoid revealing that I can also use this technique. If Flame-Burning Valley is as stubborn as the Wind Lightning Pavilion, it could cause significant trouble. While they talked, they quickly reached the estate of Liu Qing's family. However, the estate was surrounded by heavily armed guards, creating a highly vigilant atmosphere that left Xiao Yan momentarily stunned. After inquiring from passers-by, they learned that the Liu and Qing families were currently competing for control of the spatial wormhole. Both sides had brought many people and were in a standoff in the city center. Hearing this, Lin Yan frowned slightly. That's odd. I remember the management rights of the wormhole were supposed to go to the Liu family this year. Why is there a dispute? Xiao Yan replied, we'll know if we take a look at the city center. Lin Yan smiled. It seems being the patriarch isn't easy for Liu Qing. With that, the two quickly made their way toward the city center. The square was already crowded with people, and in the center, 2 groups were facing off. Among the leaders on the left was none other than Liu Qing, who had accompanied Xiao Yan back to the Jiama Empire. He no longer had the same sharpness he once did, but exuded a sense of composure, fitting for a qualified patriarch rather than a hot-headed youngster. Behind Liu Qing stood 2 elderly men. Although they stood casually, the aura they emitted made people wary. Besides them stood Liu Fei, who had some minor conflicts with Xiao Yan in the past. Liu Qing asked, Cheng Yao, this year the management rights of the spatial wormhole belong to my Liu family. What's the meaning of your actions today? Cheng Yao chuckled. Liu Qing, you're younger than me. You shouldn't speak so impolitely to your elders. Liu Qing's face showed a cold smile, about to speak when a hoarse voice suddenly rang out from the square. This is the latest decree from our flame-burning valley. A senior in a crimson robe stood beside Cheng Yao, and Liu Qing's expression changed slightly. He then politely said, "So it's Elder Chihuo. I wonder what this latest decree entails. According to previous rules, it's not yet time for the handover of the management rights of the spatial wormhole." Elder Chihuo explained, "The Valley Master needs some high-level alchemists to assist in refining a pill. Whoever finds one will be given the management rights of the spatial wormhole, and the term will be extended from 1 year to 3. Now that the Cheng family has found a 6th-grade alchemist, if the Liu family can find one today, it's not impossible." Elder Chihuo then pointed in the direction of the Cheng family, where a senior in a purple alchemist robe stood proudly. Liu Qing felt embarrassed. Although the Liu family had alchemists, the highest grade was only 5th grade. Finding a 6th-grade one was nearly impossible in Tianhang City. Since the Cheng family had brought a 6th-grade alchemist, they must have bribed Elder Chihuo and received prior notification. It was impossible for them to find one within a day. Alchemists of this level were considered top tier even in the Pill Tower, let alone in the flame-burning valley. Seeing Liu Qing's changing expression, Cheng Yao couldn't help but smirk. Heh, young Liu, you might as well give up the management rights of the spatial wormhole peacefully. If I'm in a good mood later, maybe I'll let the Liu family have a sip of the soup, too. Hearing the veiled mockery, Liu Qing's face turned even more livid. However, as the current patriarch of the Liu family, he had to consider the family's interests in everything he did. He could only suppress his anger and grit his teeth. "Cheng Yao, you've gone too far this time. Let's go." But just as Liu Qing turned around, a young figure was seen descending from the air, landing lightly on the ground. Traveling through the air, a Daozong expert. Seeing this, Liu Qing and the others were taken aback. They were about to offer polite greetings when a familiar laughter suddenly rang out. "Liu Qing, it's been a few years. How have you been?"